pressure. Nah, I ain't feeling no pressure. No, I ain't stunting her, man. She wanna get on top shit, I'ma let her. With this street code, I abide to the letter. It's just me against me, I ain't feeling no pressure. There's no hoes barred with the shit, nigga, everything gon' go. Hoes come to see me, I miss a heart and hustle up with the flow. I used to stand in the crowd, but I'm the star of the show. My 10 in the field of play, I know you niggas looking down at my toes. I'm only smoking no pressure, I'm digging graves with the shovel. Just like Pac in my nigga bags, you should know Liddy be a rebel. They watch the corner for a stat, watch out. My little nigga be the lookout. You broke that shit embarrassing, like the drunk uncle watch the cookout. My 10 down, you got a foot out. I fuck my bitch, never pull out. A bitch drowning my drink, thinking she gon' feel the stain from my wrist. You disrespect on that click, I put the tech on your lips. No handouts, they gon' go get it lit, cut a check for a quick. No pressure, nah, I ain't feeling no pressure. No, I ain't stunting her, man, she wanna get on top shit, I'ma let her. With this street code, I abide to the letter. It's just me against me, I ain't feeling no pressure. There's no hoes barred with the shit, nigga, everything.
You're rocking with the best. You're rocking with the best.
Jeff Gamble.
Mr. Gamble, how you doing, sir?
You're rocking
This is Lamont Thomas.
Yeah.
Hey, nice talking to you. I just wanted to let you know personally, I appreciate your help with the matter of resolving this with credit acceptance. I did receive the title. I appreciate the fast expedition on that, but just wanted to give you a thank you, man. I appreciate your hard work, man.
No, I'm glad we were able to work it out.
Yes,
and you were a big part of that process too.
So yes, most definitely.
Just sit for a bit, and the momentum when people are working towards the goal.
Yep.
Really helps.
Yes, sir.
The process.
Yes, sir.
I too am thankful for your role in that as well. But I really appreciate the call.
If you're not learning from anyone that has the understanding of that system and has professionals that they consult with to make sure their interpretation is clear, then anything outside of that, it's nothing more than a gamble. It's a theory. It's a belief system. So keep that in mind.
You're rocking with the best.
Did Chris beat a $12,000 American Express credit card lawsuit for under $500? This is dismissed.
American Express did not show up. They missed the hearing. That's how she got the dismissal. Or it says granted dismissal motion for lack of jurisdiction and standing, right? But the official dismissal is because of warrant of prosecution. So let's go here for a second. What is normally the reasons for a dismissal for a warrant of prosecution? Dismissal for warrant of prosecution occurs when a plaintiff fails to diligently pursue their case, leading the court to terminate the action due to inaction such as failure to meet deadlines, appear in court, or comply with orders. And I'm talking about in good faith, not no fabricated wins, not no fabricated emails or texts, straight up real results that's filed in the court record. Like that's filed in the court record, like Order 21, stipulation of dismissal filed by credit acceptance. Me and credit acceptance, the case is dismissed. The case is closed. Look, case terminated January 28th with the stipulation of dismissal. See, they don't want to judge themselves against that.
Especially when I show all the stipulation, the case, the zero balance and all that. See, they don't want to show. See, they can't compete with that. So they got to stay in a relative level with everybody else that's low performers.
Welcome to the live stream brought to you by the New Culture Empire. Tomorrow, day one of the Supreme Elite Team University begins. Enroll now or miss out. And don't forget to follow us across all social media platforms.
She rolling the dice, got luck in that van. Smoking that leaf, going global stand. On my wrist like a stage, I can't claim. You look like you wanna
Gotcha, bitch.
What's up? I thought so, okay. I'm back in this symphony, stuck on the band. What's up? I thought so, okay.
You're rocking with the best. You're rocking with the best. You're rocking with the best.
Welcome to another edition of the New Culture Empire, streaming live from my future estate. We are here today, live, 24 hours until day one of SETU actually begins. And this is a special day because it's just another milestone that we have reached. Hard work and preparation, dedication, getting the class together, getting the homework together, getting the assignments together, getting the curriculums together, consulting with multiple professionals on the best course of action and how to communicate this in a classroom-like setting, which it's bringing top professional level understanding down to the average, everyday pro se litigants. One of the things that I had to make sure that I communicated effectively with the Supreme Elite Team University is I wanted to separate this university from any other course or any other classes or any other packages or any other teachers that you see online. Because one of the things that I've noticed with courses and classes and universities and master classes and get this course, at the end of the course, you'll be able to do all this. One thing that I noticed that a lot of courses that you see, and I mean, I've been around these spaces for a long time. I know a lot of people in these spaces. People have actually brought courses, have brought videos, ebooks, just for the sole purpose of them wanting me to analyze it and give my take on it. A lot of people purchase stuff from a lot of these other gurus and they come bring it right to me. Hey, what do you think about this? Now, of course, I never use any of the stuff that they teach because everything that I've seen has been wrong. I've actually caught teachers handing out packages that, or templates that you can easily find on Scribd. That's how I know a lot of these teachers go on Scribd to get their documents to sell. Stuff that's freely online. You could just put your information in and go. They'll take a few words out and add it as part of their course. And one of the things that I've noticed is that every one of these courses it's always going to be centered around you don't have to pay a debt, or this is how you get out of a debt. And then there's going to be information provided to the students that confirms what the teacher believes or what is being sold. And this is why today people are still referring to this. I hate to use the word process, but they're referring to it as a discharge. I want to discharge. I want to discharge. Now, let's ask ourselves a question. Where do you usually get a discharge at? You get a discharge in bankruptcy. It means that you are not obligated to perform on the underlying debt anymore. But the debt is still there. Just your obligation to pay has been discharged. This is not what SETU is about. SETU is not, this is how you get out of something. SETU is an infrastructure built on understanding the differences between contractual obligations and the obligations from an accounting standpoint. The difference between securitization versus the inner structurings of the securitization transactions. The difference between making a legal conclusion, an argument, versus stating a cause of action. The difference between assuming something happened this way and being able to prove it happened this way in court, on an accounting standpoint, on a balance sheet, or any mechanism used. Now, another thing that SETU is not, SETU is not advocating for people to be financially irresponsible. SETU is principally, one of the main things SETU does is it informs people that, yes, if there's an obligation to pay, you should pay. But your obligation should not be to pay any more than what the lender expects you to collect. That SETU at its greatest. And with my situation with credit acceptance, that was one of the main arguments. We don't argue that the contract is voidable because they did some fraud. When we argue, we're arguing since everything else outside of the contract took place, then the contract itself has no full force and effect, and we can prove this in court. Because when you talk about securitization, when you talk about accounting, when you talk about investors and credit enhancement, you talk about all those things. One of the things that I don't think people understand is surface level. It looks like we figured it all out. And this is why you see a lot of teachers today that's only been doing this for like 2 or 3 years. They get so excited and they'll post stuff about securitization. And then like people that's been doing this for years, they realize that that's just the beginning. But these teachers online think that's the end all be all. Just like you'll see Alan Najee with that thinks that just because a mortgage was assigned to a trust after the closing date and the REMIC laws prevents that somehow translates into a borrower's defense on why the foreclosure should not take place. See, when you're first starting out, you actually will believe that is true. But when you've been around the block a few times and understood and been through this system long enough, you'll understand that a mortgage being transferred into a trust after the pooling service agreement's closing date does not mean the borrower doesn't have to pay or get foreclosed anymore. It doesn't mean it. See, when you doing this long enough, you'll understand that the only thing that's going to happen to them is that they're just going to pay 100% taxes on the disqualified mortgage because it was transferred into the trust after the close date. See, once you become on the professional level, you'll understand. You'll understand that that's just how it goes. Once you start to understand this stuff professionally, then you'll understand that no court has not, and nor will they ever touch on the argument that since a mortgage was transferred into a remake after the closing date, then the assignment is void. Do you want to know why courts are not going to hit on that argument? Because remix, assignment, that is a tax thing. That is a IRS thing. And since the Internal Revenue Service has not voided that assignment, but merely taxes them on those disqualified mortgages, since they just have to pay a tax, aka a fine, for the courts to make the void assignment, they'll be encroaching on the separation of powers. They'll be encroaching on the legislative powers of the government. They'll be encroaching because Congress has passed the remake laws, not the courts. Courts just interpret laws. The Supreme Court, they don't even pass laws. But the Supreme Court has the power to void a law for vagueness or void a law if it violates the Constitution. So let's snap my finger. Let's snap my finger. And let's assume that the court has ruled that an assignment of a mortgage into a remake after the close date of the mortgage, of the pool and service agreement, of the pool, the court said the assignment is void. That means that the Internal Revenue Service and the courts are at odds. That means the legislative branch of government and the judicial branch of government are at odds. So what happens when the legislative branch and the judicial branch of government are at odds? You know what you have? You have an amendment to the Constitution. You just have a new law. When the income taxes were declared unconstitutional back in, well, I don't even know if I should say the year because they bite so much. But when the Pollock case, the court case in Pollock, declared income taxes unconstitutional because they declared indirect taxes, income taxes were direct taxes. What did Congress do? Passed the 16th Amendment. Now it took the question of the taxes out it cleared up that loose end. So if the courts were to rule that late assignments to remake was void, Congress is just going to pass a law to not make it void again. And these are the reasons why courts have not touched the argument. See, that in itself is one of the biggest benefits of SETU, because instead of looking at the system from a lens that is more theory-based than factual-based, everybody's going to come back to planet Earth. We've been out in the stratosphere, in the galaxy for too long. SETU brings everybody back to planet Earth. And it's not the factual information that rubs people the wrong way.
It's because what most people believe today is what they identify with. It's like their identity. Like, I really believe that my all caps is different from me. I really believe that there's a security with my bond with my name on floating around there. I really believe that the numbers and the letters on the back of my social security card has somewhere an account for me. I really believe that's true. For a lot of people, like, they believe it's true. And their identity is that. So for a person that has so much strong beliefs, and then you couple that with the fact that financially in their lives, things are going downhill as well, it brings on a more stronger belief. Because they never really come out and admit it, but most people need to believe that. It's not so much of the fact that they want to believe it. Most people need to believe it. They need to believe it because they've closed themselves off to information that may be different from what they believe, that they refuse to take in any new information that may otherwise contradict what they believe. So now they've kind of put themselves in a box mentally, psychologically. And when you put yourself in a box, you limit your outcomes, like you limit your options. This is why most people are like one and done with their processes. They'll try something this way. As soon as it doesn't work, they'll move on to the next teacher and then move on to the next study and move on to the next thing to do. Because no matter how much they were doing, there was never any solid foundation that was built. And that's what SETU is. It's the foundation. Because when you have a strong foundation, you always have options. You always know how to maneuver. As a matter of fact, it's the foundation that provides the what to do, the how to do, the when to do. It's all going to be the foundation that provides that. Because there are nuances with court, there are nuances with this system that you can prepare as much as you can, but you can't anticipate every single outcome, like every single scenario. But when those things arise, you won't panic. You will not panic. You will learn how to assess the situation for what it is, see what are the obstacles, what are the end goals, identify the obstacles, and learn how to best mitigate the risk. Who does that in real life? Mitigating risk, anticipating, running the numbers, crunching the odds. The finance companies, the corporate world. So SETU is bringing people as close as they can to the corporate world and as close as we can to the sun without getting burnt. That's really what it's about. It's I know we in these spaces we get so attracted to the hope and the dreams of something coming true. But SETU, we are attracted to the outcomes. Now, every path to the desired outcomes is not going to be a smooth one. As a matter of fact, I don't think a smooth path exists. And this is where kind of reality strikes again. Because if you don't have the prerequisite foundation and you know you don't really have the understanding, then of course a magic document is going to be enticing. Of course, If you're already in financial turmoil, things are just not going good financially, of course, a negotiable instrument method will be good. Of course, a $1 money order, just scratching of course, that would seem like because there's nothing that you really have to understand to do it. All you know is this is going to be processed through my account somewhere, or they're going to discharge it. And then you add laws like, hey, I tender a debt and they don't accept it, the debt's discharged. See, that has been the ways of teaching in these spaces for so long, but you got to ask yourself, out of all these negotiable instrument processes and people who are in the classes, and I spoke to a few people that took a few of those classes, none of them have ever came back and said that it worked. As a matter of fact, they all said the opposite. They all said one person told me that they sent the negotiable instrument in because they took a class from someone online that you see online every day. And the next week they repossessed their vehicle. Want to know why I know these things? Because some of them are my clients right now. To this day, right now. And they did the negotiable instruments and they got their vehicle repossessed the next week. Kiana Stone, her vehicle with Chase was repossessed. So when you start to look at outcomes versus the fluff and the talking, and you judge strictly on outcomes, when you measure the outcomes, in a perfect world, SETU would be the best choice.
Don't miss out on this opportunity to litigate like a seasoned professional. Join the Supreme Elite Team University.
Thomas in the lobby, folded thicker than a skyline. Credit acceptance on a resume with stories in the fine lines.
But when we go beyond the surface, then we'll start to understand why, for many people, SETU is actually not the perfect choice. And let me explain why SETU is not a good choice. I'm going to explain to you why SETU is not a good choice. And before I do that, when you actually utilize what you talk about in real life and you got real life results in your life, you're benefiting in real life from what you do. When people come with their opinions on alternative ways to do things, but yet they can't produce the similar results, you kind of get this response from me.
I've been here for almost 17 hours. I don't give a fuck.
It's kind of the default response you'll get, because I look at it like this. If I was here just to be right, I wouldn't be getting the results I'll be getting. You want to know why? Because I'll spend so much time trying to prove people right. Like me trying to prove people that I'm right. You notice my receipts prove that I'm right. You notice I don't, that does all the talking for me, because it shows application of what I'm talking about. It shows I'm putting it into motion. It shows dedication. It shows preparation. It shows perseverance. It shows understanding. And when you mix all those things in together, the results are pretty much a no-brainer. And it's not unique especially with the pro se space and even litigation. It's very predictable. It's like a predictable social like dynamics. It's very predictable. And it shows up anytime we have three elements, y'all. Ego, scarcity, public proof. Those three things, ego, scarcity, and public proof. Think about it. Ego, scarcity, and public proof. Now, what do I mean? Now, when I said earlier, the first thing is going to be the identity threat. Yes, y'all, I do case studies on people in these spaces, in their comments. A lot of people think, dang, you respond to everybody. Dang, you respond to a lot of people, because I take a lot of people's responses and I comprise them into a case study. Like, I literally study the mindset of people in these spaces, because if I didn't do it this way, I would think 98% of the people suffer from some type of mental breakdown, some type of severe delusion. It's kind of borderline like schizophrenic. Like it's if I didn't stay in this realm with it, I would literally think that a lot of people have undiagnosed mental issues. I would think that. So with the online pro se guru, the whole ecosystem, when you look at multiple teachers on social media, the whole structure, many people built their identity around, I cracked the code. No one knows this but me. Get it from me. It's a secret. Courts are simple. Number two, they always treat court as an extension of the administrative program. Like, court is simple. They break it down. They think court's simple. Why did they break it down and think court's simple? Because psychologically, people have been told that they don't need to follow the court rules, and the court rules don't apply to them because they're a state national, they're aboriginal to the land, they're not a United States citizen. And once they hear the word codes and statutes, remember, codes and statutes only apply to corporations. I'm not a corporation. I'm a live, living, breathing, sentient man living upon the land of which God gave me. Not knowing that same mindset, they're signing, sealing, and delivering their own laws right back to themselves. Another thing that is preached: you don't need lawyers. Lawyers are bar certified members, and they're ready to send you right up the creek. They're there to sail you out. And this is the psychological. So when people hear the word lawyer or attorney, they automatically starts to view them as an enemy, in which that enemy doesn't exist. I've had hell of a lawyers. My lawyer in my federal case, she saved my life. She saved my life. But all lawyers, you don't need them because they're there to sell you out. Another one, for the fourth one, it's always the guarantee that the same method is going to work every time for everyone, no matter the situation, no matter the circumstances of your situation, no matter, it's going to work for you. So when you look at these four identities that people really identify with is: I cracked the code, courts are simple, you don't need lawyers, the method works every time. Now, that is like a water flowing with the stream. It's uninterrupted,
the currents are flowing, and those 4 things, you don't even have to have results to prove that they're right. Because now think about it. Those 4 things, no results are needed to sell it, to sell that to somebody. You don't need results. And the reason why you don't need results, because many people who buy into it, they're already psychologically distracted about their current situation. And the current situation is the dominant situation. So they don't really have time to really look at what's being sold to them or talk to them from a different angle, because this gets me out of this. I do this to get that. It's the this for that. I'm filing this to get this. Now, I don't look at the filing of this to get this or submitting of this document to get that. I look at, why do they want that? What's the underlying reason that they desire that so bad? And when we look at the underlying reasons, it's always the same story. They're either being sued, they're always the defendant, there's always a major bill, it's always something that they don't want to pay, it's always something they can't afford to pay, or it's something that they think that since they cancel whatever contract that they, whatever that is, that they're under no obligation to pay. So when you mix the belief or the thought that you don't even have an obligation to pay, and that comes in connection with the, I really don't want to pay it anyway, this is what you have. But when you show actual pleadings, professional level structure, opposing counsel acknowledging your role in your own settlement, saying you played a bigger role than what you think, buddy. You played a big role in your own settlement, and documented settlement outcomes. It's not the fact that I'm presenting evidence. I'm threatening their identity structure. The things that they believe and stand on, my outcomes are now a threat to that. And psychologically, people are going to defend identity harder than they're going to defend the facts. You know what they call it, identity politics, and they're going to defend what they identify with over the cold hard facts. And number 2, we got the confirmation bias. Many in these spaces have invested years defending a theory, not winning, defending what they believe, defending a theory. They paid gurus. They publicly, privately, and everywhere in between argued their position. And they spent years teaching others the same approach. So if I demonstrate a different position that produce measurable results, they face the common term, cognitive dissonance. This is if Thomas is so right, then that means I'm wrong. But I can't be wrong because I believe this is right. And I spent years on this being right. And I paid gurus on this being right. And I paid for this and I paid for that. And I spent so much time, energy, years in studying and investing and investing and investing and investing. I must be right. I must be right. He can't be right. I must be right. I have to be right because he can't. I see what he has and I don't have those same things, but I want those same things. I want them, but I can't I can't be wrong. Thomas has to be wrong somewhere. Like, let me see if I can nitpick with something that, let me see. Or let me just find something so he could be. So if I could just find one thing, then I won't have to believe nothing he says ever again. Let me just find one thing. Oh, no, I'm not going to look at the court record. Nope, I'm not going to look at the settlement. Nope, I'm not going to look at the phone call with the attorney. No, I'm not going to look at, I'm going to act like I don't see the account zero. I'm act like I don't see the title. Ooh, I found it. Hey, there's a clerical error on the title. It says sedan instead of SUV. Yes, now you didn't get no wins. The VIN numbers match. I'm gonna have to see that now. You see the you see how the psychological, you see this is psychological, y'all. 1 second. Most people, they resolve their dissonance by rejecting the new evidence. You can get it. They reject the dissonance. They solve it. They resolve it. The dissonance by rejecting the new evidence. And I swear to God, when you post, like, I talk about a statue or giving your position on a statue or giving your view on something, everybody's going to chime in. Everybody's going to chime in. When I posted about the average, over 3,000 views on TikTok, over hundreds of saves, damn near 100 comments, engagement back and forth for several days. But when you post, not only I settled the case, not only almost 50,000 wiped away, and I walked away with the title. See it? Swole up. Start up. Yeah, y'all, this evidence. I got one of my case. Here's the title. Scroll up. Now, what makes someone scroll up fast? Because by them staying to watch, psychologically it's telling them he's right, you're wrong. He's right, you're wrong. He's right, you're wrong. Remember you paid this person to do your auto? Remember they stopped answering your phone call? See what I'm saying? They don't solve their dissonance by reevaluating themselves. And many people in these spaces, they never reevaluate themselves. They never ask themselves a question, is there a chance that I'm wrong? Is there a chance that I could be wrong? Can I be looking at this from the wrong way? Is there really a secret account with my name in it, name on it? Is there really a trust account? Is there really one? What if there's not one? I can't think like that. I can't think like that. Because I got so much riding on it. Because if I don't access this trust, I'm not going to have anything to pass down. I don't have anything to pass down. I don't have anything to give, because I spent years and years, and I'm going to use this method to feed my family. I'm going to use this method to pass assets down to my kids. I'm going to do it this way. And this is when it becomes very scary. This is when it becomes scary. When people actually think that is going to bring them generational wealth. And if they can only access that, and they don't mind spending years chasing it, because in their mind, once they access it, it's going to make up, it's going to be tenfold. They're going to get the equivalent back and then some. This is why they can do 10 years, 15 years, because all they got to do is strike that one time and everything is good. But not knowing that
2 year turns into 5 years. That 5 years turns into 7 years. That 7 year turns into 9 years. The 9 years turns into 12 years. Those 12 years turns into 15 years. The 15 years turns into 20 years. But when you go back and look at the resume, there's nothing of wealth that's been building and generating that could be left around based on their own hands and their own efforts and their own work. They're trying to achieve generational wealth through documents. And the reality of that is no one in the history of this country that has left generational wealth has ever achieved it through the submission of documents.
Rocking with the best.
It's never happened. So if they were to accept that reality, and when a person has to accept the reality that something they believe in doesn't work and they have no other options, it becomes a very dangerous situation. Versus them doing things to create generational wealth and having things passed down to them so they can pass down to their heirs, to the next future, and then the next generation passes down. That's what it is, passed down. I'm sitting in my inheritance right now. I'm sitting in it. This is going to be mine. And then this goes to my kids. Then it just passed down. And especially in the African-American communities, that is something that I think we lost the mark on. Last 30, 40, 50 years, not leaving anything to pass down. Because when we substituted the government and let the government, Section 8 housing, these assistance, you live 20 years on Section 8, there's nothing that you'll ever own from that. There's nothing you could pass down. So we get complacent on spending 20 years on Section 8. Once all the kids age out the system, there's nothing there's nothing to be passed down. So if we are so concerned about generational wealth, every day, everything that we do would be into furtherance of that, because many people are not in a position to see the fruits of their generational wealth labor. The generational wealth is usually something that is carried on by the next generation. It's like Coca-Cola, the Walmarts, McDonald's, all of them. They had the idea. They started to see its fruition when they were alive. But McDonald's didn't blow until after the founders died. Walmart's didn't blow like you know them today until after the originals died. Walt Disney, he wasn't alive to see it take off to where it needed to go. And that's the sad thing about generational wealth. The ones who's creating it, spearheading it, planting the seed, they're never alive to actually see it. They are planting the seeds. They're grooming the heirs for them to take it in that direction, because the ones who's planting the seed, they see it. They see it. They see it. But they know that they're not going to be alive long enough to see it come into fruition. Madam C.J. Walker, yes, she saw the benefits of it while she was alive. But when she died, all those seeds were just starting to germinate. Her daughter and everybody else around her, who she groomed throughout the years, they took the Walker Company way over the next level. To the point where her estate, they get millions a year just by having the name
Madam CJ Walker on products. It's about having a name on it. Licensing the name. None of that is possible by believing that you're going to skip the line of hard work, dedication, perseverance, failing, coming back, failing, double back, failing. Coca-Cola, you know how many times he failed before he got the formula right? All these major successes, you know how many times they failed? Like Kellogg's, the cereal. That invention came on an accident. Not the Frosted Flakes, the Kellogg's, the original corn cereal. Because he was making something else and he burnt it. He cooked it too high. I think it was like cupcakes, like he cooked it too high and he burnt it. And he was going to throw away and one of the flakes fell on the ground. I mean, he fell on the table where he was at and he picked up the flake. Like, oh, it was an accident. Let me add some milk to this. Household name. There you go. Nobody gets anywhere by cutting the line. You can't cut your line to wealth and success. And you have to be able to bet on yourself and believe in yourself, even when the whole world tells you you are an idiot. You have to be able to even risk your relationships in the pursuit of your dreams and being great. Because everybody can't come. Everybody's not going to support you on the way up. Everybody's not going to support you in the building stages. They all support you after the success. And I think that when people goes that route, it really shows that they really have no faith in themselves, have no faith in their abilities, don't have a plan, don't have a direction. But yet they're going to submit documents to the Treasury that's going to tap in 100 million. Wanting those things for all the wrong reasons. Because if they were really serious about it, and let's just say there was some legitimacy to that for the sake of argument, that would not be the only seed that they plant. You send some documents to the Treasury. Okay, what else are you doing? What else are you doing? Number 3, scarcity and financial projection. And I see this online. I have conversations with other people, with other teachers online. Believe it or not, y'all, there are some teachers online that I'm cool with. I'm not at every single guru's neck. There are some teachers online that I'm actually cool with. And this is another one. Scarcity and financial projection. This plagues these spaces daily, because when someone has been scammed before or believe that they've been scammed before, because I'm gonna address that for a second. I think a lot of people play a bigger role in them being scammed more than the teacher who scammed them. I believe that many people were already setting themselves up to fail by hearing what they wanted to hear and fall into the trap of the person that's doing the scamming telling you what you want to hear. Because let me tell you this, the same people that would scream that they got scammed, they said the document was going to work and it didn't work, now they got scammed. Those would have been the same people to tap out as soon as that teacher told them there's no magical document. I'm going to teach you foundation. I'm going to teach you understanding. This is going to be a time-consuming thing. You're going to get better over time. Those same people who were screaming they got scammed will be the same ones who would exit out the group and looked for the teacher that was going to tell them there was a miracle document. But as soon as that miracle document don't work, those going to be the same people that says they got scammed. Do you understand the psychology of this?
You're rocking with the best.
And I know I'm striking a nerve because this represents 98% of the people in these spaces. No matter how many times I tell them, whether you are successful or not, it's going to depend on your mindset when you come to these spaces. Your mindset determines the path that you take. Your mindset. You cannot act like your inner intent, your inner spirits doesn't play a part in whether you are successful or not with this stuff. We want to act like it plays no role. It plays the biggest role. So when someone has been scammed before, doesn't have disposable income, feels financially strained, they often project those frustrations outward. Because every time I see people comment, it's a shame you charging the people. It's a shame you should be giving it away for free. But if they had $250,000 and had the $5,000 to pay for it, they would pay for it with ease. So I understand when a lot of people comment like that, they just don't have it to pay and they're frustrated at it. But instead of looking at why they're really frustrated and addressing that, now they want to say you're being a gatekeeper or you're just trying to monetize knowledge that is free. And that's why it becomes, he should give it away. Knowledge should be free. He's monetizing truth. Shout out to those who said that. But this is the reality that they don't want to understand, because the need to be right is also something that is like a wildfire. The professional level litigation work that it takes, it requires research and infrastructure, meaning you have to have an infrastructure to how you even approach the research. Most people just pull out a book and read, pull out a statute and read, get a document and just read. Oh, see a buzzword that confirms what they believe or gives them hope that they're going to get out their debt next week. Now they're excited. But I even have an infrastructure to how I even research. The filing fees cost me $455 to file my lawsuit. And all these gurus, one thing that's in common with them, they're always filing the informal papyrus. The time invested, the drafting, the discipline to draft the complaint structurally. Do you know how? I don't think people understand what it goes into even drafting a complaint. The amount of hours, the amount of research, the amount of redrafting, the amount of thinking about every word, because whether you win an argument or lose an argument does come down to how you even word the argument. I got to page 25 in my complaint and I scrapped it. Got to page 25. That was two and a half days of work and I scrapped it. So, we're going to start again. Most people would have, right after they scrapped it, would have tried to look for an easier route. Not, hold on, we about to start all the way from scratch again? Yes, we are. Because I have a level of dedication to this that most people would kill to have. The work ethic that I have with this stuff
and the consistency, this is what sets the Supreme Elite team apart. Strategic restraint, knowing when to make an argument, knowing when not, knowing when to hold back, knowing when to say, like you, because you want to drill them with everything that you got, but knowing when to, all right, hold on, let me say this for the next stage. Hold on. I really want to make this argument right now, but I don't think the rules and the procedure, it's going to be hard to connect it. Let me save it for round two. People want the outcome without respecting the cause structure behind it. They want the outcomes, but they don't really respect the process. Want to know why? It's hard to respect something that they think is already theirs, like something that they're already entitled to. No, they really think that they're entitled to other people's knowledge, other people's information. They really know people think that they're entitled to it. But when you ask them, well, what type of work have you been putting in to bring you closer to your own enlightenment? Guarantee you, it's minimal at best. So that resentment that people have, I know it's not really about me per se. It's really about their financial stress and their prior losses. When I know when I'm talking to someone who is punch drunk, spent a lot of money and took loss after loss, nothing worked. You can hear the frustration when they're commenting, talking to me. I can hear the frustration in their voice. I can hear it. So what they'll do is everybody has to be the same now, because I don't want to look at the reality that, damn, my mindset wasn't where it needed to be to attract me over here. It's my fault, because nobody wants it to ever be their fault. Remember, most people think that since many people don't do no self-reflection in real life, they don't practice disciplines in real life, they don't practice patience in real life, they don't apply understanding, wisdom, and use discernment in everyday real life, that they think that none of those things matter with these spaces, that they think that the document is just going to make it all good. Even when they touch these documents, their energy may be affecting the document. Their own energy may be affecting their own outcome.
You're rocking with the best.
What if their own energy, own inner spirits are affecting their outcomes? What would you have to say about that? Because let's think about it. You only seem to be attracting people who's going to scam you. You tried 8 different teachers and you still don't have a clue what's going on. What were you trying to accomplish with those 8 teachers? And when I talk to some of them on the phone, I can hear they're trying to make up ways, make up excuses, because they just don't, they're ashamed and embarrassed that they got caught chasing their tails. Most people are embarrassed about some of the things they've tried in these spaces. They are embarrassed. They will never let you know. They will sit there and see a teacher who they got stuff from before, knowing that the bank told it was fraudulent, and if you do this again, we may report you to the authorities. They will sit there in the comments and remain silent. Won't say nothing. Won't say nothing. Want to know why? Because they're still holding out hope on maybe this teacher found out the right way to do it now. And if something's new that they haven't heard before, they'll still go back and try it. People literally throw their own money away chasing their own greed, their own impatience, their own greed, their own desperation, their own impatience. They are paying for that. Number 4, the free information illusion. Now, this ain't for a particular person. This is just the whole culture with these online teaching and learning spaces, especially pro se, especially with no legal background. People assume, and this is what they all do. They really all assume, like they really assume something is true. They really assume it's the right way. They don't really know. They don't really got the results to say. They don't really know. But when you keep relying on things that have been passed down, you haven't done your serious vetting of it, of course. But people assume if information exists, it must be free. The application of the information is not free. Refining your craft, understanding, dedication, that's not free. There is a sacrifice that comes with that. When someone charges in these spaces, it forces the buyer, the client, it really forces them to admit that I need help. I don't know everything. And this has value. 3 things that people in these spaces will refuse to admit when it comes to the SETU. You notice how the SETU is on the heels of my settlement. Why did I delay it? Because I told the Supreme Elite team I didn't want to start the SETU while my case was ongoing. I wanted to have the outcome first before I started it.
You're rocking with the best.
I told him, I don't want to start to SETU in a shroud of mystery, or or I took an L. I didn't want to start to SETU then. To me, I wouldn't feel right starting it. Like, hell, nigga, you just lost. What the fuck you teaching for? For real. I'm like, oh, hell no. That ain't a good look for me. I wanted the outcome first before I started it. I'm talking about the start date time, not just when you're going to start it in general. Now, I was still going to have it, but I probably would have pushed it back. So those 3 things, I need help. I don't know everything. This has values. Even if they would admit those things alone, it's gonna trigger defensiveness, because everybody thinks they're right in these spaces. Everybody thinks their way is the right way. You can't find nobody that's not going to say their way is the right way. Now, why did the phone call with the CAC attorney get one? I think it was on YouTube. I don't know who likes it got, but why this got so many few likes?
Jeff Campbell.
Mr. Gamble, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing well, thanks.
This is Lamont Thomas.
Yeah.
Hey, nice talking to you. I just wanted to let you know personally, I appreciate your help with the matter of resolving this with credit acceptance. I did receive the title. I appreciate the fast expedition on that, but just wanted to give you a thank you, man. I appreciate your hard work, man.
No, I'm glad we were able to work it out.
Yes,
and you were a big part of that process too. So
yes, most definitely.
Just sit for a bit, and the momentum when people are working towards the goal really helps.
Yes, sir.
The process.
Yes, sir.
I too am thankful for your role in that as well. But I really appreciate the call.
You have a person, well, of course, everybody knows I didn't go to school for law school. You know, just called the opposing attorney just to thank him for, you know, for his role in playing in it. The attorney said, "No, thank you. You played a big role in this." And for that, to see that, most people know that it is impossible for them to, they don't even see when they'll ever have that type of conversation with another professional. Us all coming from the same common place. But I have to move something right quick, so I will get back to y'all in a second. Stick around. Let me.
Jeff Gamble.
Mr. Gamble, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing well, thanks.
This Lamont Thomas.
Yeah.
Hey, nice talking to you. I just wanted to let you know personally, I appreciate your help with the matter of resolving this with credit acceptance. I did receive the title. I appreciate the fast expedition on that, but just wanted to give you a thank you, man. I appreciate your hard work, man.
No, I'm glad we were able to work it out.
Yes,
and you were a big part of that process too. So
yes, most definitely.
Just sit for a bit, and the momentum when people are working towards the goal really helps.
Yes, sir.
The process.
Yes, sir.
I too am thankful for your role in that as well. But I really appreciate the call.
If you're not learning from anyone that has the understanding of that system and has professionals that they consult with to make sure their interpretation is clear, then anything outside of that, it's nothing more than a gamble. It's a theory. It's a belief system. So keep that in mind.
You're rocking with the best.
Did Chris beat a $12,000 American Express credit card lawsuit for under $500? This is dismissed.
American Express did not show up. They missed the hearing. That's how she got the dismissal. Or it says, granted dismissal motion for lack of jurisdiction and standing, right? But the official dismissal is because of warrant of prosecution. So, let's go here for a second. What is normally the reasons for a dismissal or a want of prosecution? Dismissal for warrant of prosecution occurs when a plaintiff fails to diligently pursue their case, leading the court to terminate the action due to inaction, such as failure to meet deadlines, appear in court, or comply with orders. And I'm talking about in good faith, not no fabricated wins, not no fabricated emails or texts, straight up real results that's filed in the court record. Like that's filed in the court record, like Order 21, stipulation of dismissal filed by credit acceptance. Me and credit acceptance, the case is dismissed. The case is closed. Look, case terminated January 28th with the stipulation of. I'm back. Had my truck blocking my dad's view. Let me get in. But it's about good. Yep, good. I'm almost done. I got about probably like another 10, 15 minutes. Then we gonna, yep. All right. Small Dukes. Such a lovely woman. So, and I wasn't expecting, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. My content is not for, it's really structured to very few people. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's really structured to like the 2%. Not like it's not, I don't think I'll be a good teacher for a person who still believes in a negotiable instrument can pay your bills, who still believes you don't need to know the court rules, who still believes courts have no jurisdiction, who still believes admiralty and common law jurisdiction, who still believes that they don't have to do this, who still believes it's this, still believes they can do it this way, still believe you don't have to pay a debt, the Federal Reserve Bank is involved in our loans. I'm just not a, because me, you like, you got to know the basics. Like, you have to know the basics. Like, I teach on an advanced level. Like, you have to know the basics. Like, and the reason why, like, I just don't have the patience, because I would be trying to appeal to people's belief systems. It's not the fact that what I'm saying is wrong. It's like people, they want me to like make them believe that they're wrong. Hey, Ski. You in the building? You good? I've been good, man. Yeah. We in the cut like Neil Sporn over here. Okay. Yes, sir. And I just don't do belief systems. You're entitled to believe what you want. You're entitled to think this system is the way you want. You are entitled. See, I'm not going to tell you you're wrong. So I'm not going to tell you you're wrong. The only thing I say is, what benefits in everyday life are you benefiting from believing in what you're believing in? How are you benefiting from it in everyday life? How are you benefiting from it? And for majority of the people, nothing but just them believing that they're right. That's it. The satisfaction is them thinking they're telling somebody something that nobody knew but them. The whole secret. But I know it. That's it. That's it. Because none of them, very few, hell, I'm going to jump out there and say less than 1% of people in these spaces actually own anything from what they teach outright. Don't even own nothing. Hell, take it out from what they taught. Don't even own anything in real life. Very few people actually in these spaces actually own things outright. And the conditioning of the audiences, it's always drama, conflict, outrage, conspiracies, but professional confirmation, especially from the opposing counsel, that's anti-drama. That's two people on opposite sides of the courtroom at the end of it coming and giving each other their flowers. Where do you see that at online? And you know what's so crazy? That phone call wasn't even scheduled. That was a spurt of the moment while I was live the other day. Because that's how I wanted to do it. So it wouldn't seem, that's why I called while I was on live instead of calling while I'm off of live. Because people make up, I called right while I was on live, spurt of the moment, because I wanted to get his everything authentic in the moment. But even that phone call, it doesn't activate outrage. There's nothing to be outraged about. It doesn't activate the tribal energy. Let's fight, fight, fight. Oh, they said I was wrong. I'm gonna fight. It doesn't feed the us versus them narrative. Now, what people really don't understand is that same bar attorney, that same attorneys that they say is there to send you up shit's creek or don't get an attorney. The same attorneys, it's the same attorney that I work together with. And he represented credit acceptance. But me and him were working together to get the settlement done. So much for attorneys just selling you out, right? Mm-hmm. Sober, measured, professional. That was that phone call between two professionals. Two professionals. Sober wins don't trend. The sober wins, they don't trend. The controversy, we're about to get them. This is why you see a lot of views from people posting documents about, oh, this is what I just said. This is what I said. This is how we about to get them. This is my response to their summary judgment. Look, y'all, we're going to get them. You see how they play games? Now we got to over triumph. See, on the outside looking in, it looks like the teacher is fighting to get justice and right. But in reality, see, what you think they're fighting for justice, you think they're fighting with you, you think they're fighting for you. But reality is they're just priming you up. So when they lose, their own inexperience and their lack of understanding won't be so evident, to the point where people start to question their leadership and their teaching. And this is why they always preface it. They playing games. They playing games. The system's a conspiracy. They playing games. The system. You see how the judge ruled? So when they come back with the final loss, everybody's going to write it off as typical conspiracy theory system not wanting the truth to get out there. And this is why 98% of the people will not get any meaningful wins, more or less obtain legal title to the property that is the subject of their complaint. It won't happen in 2026 for 99% of the people listening and watching, unless.
Don't miss out on this opportunity to litigate like a seasoned professional. Join the Supreme Elite Team University.
Thomas in the lobby, folded thicker than a skyline. Credit acceptance on a resume with stories in the fine lines.
I don't see it happening. Because I don't think with the overall, which y'all getting out there, I don't think people know enough to even lay a proper foundation for you. Not for even you agree, I don't think they know enough. I don't think they know enough. Could be envy, could be insecurity. It could be any of those things. But I think envy is part of it sometimes, but I think it's more the insecurity that people have. When someone, okay, so when they see my structure pleading, my tactical restraint, my real word confirmation, the settlement resolution, when they see all the stuff that I've shown with this, they subconsciously measure me against themselves. That's the teachers. They subconsciously measure me against themselves. You know, the person that be online, like on TikTok, talking about the auto contract, teaching on auto contract every day. You do this because it's a negotiable instrument and the contract is a negotiable instrument, yo. And you know, once the investors paid it from it, they done pretty much settled your debt, yo. So they ain't supposed to be doing nothing. The accounting shows that it's been discharged. All that, right? But when that same auto teacher sees me, they'll realize, oh, there's levels to this shit. That's when they realize, oh nah, there's wins, then there's wins. There's wins, and then there's nah, this win is bigger than that one. I would rather have this one over that one. And like I said, they subconsciously measure themselves against it. If the gap, when they start to see is like, yo, that gap, then the resentment appears. People resent the new culture empire. They resent the Supreme Elite team because it's not them. Not because it's me, because it's not them. Seventh one. When you operate at a higher technical level than the general space, engagement is bound to drop before it rises because there's no cult energy. I lose the conspiracy crowd where it's always a conspiracy. You can't win. The judges are administrative judges. The lawyers there to set you up. They don't follow the rules. Remember, over here, there's none of those arguments over there. You never hear those arguments. And most people live to be the victim in these spaces. Oh, the judge is corrupt. The system's corrupt. You can't do nothing about it. It's corrupt. We just got to keep fighting them. Over here, when they see me, they like, shoot, ain't nothing of it puts their own realities in perspective because it's like when many people see me, they automatically subconsciously start to question their own stance. And since I'm the one that's bringing on that question, they need to stay away from it. My results really has other people questioning whether they're really right or wrong. Especially all these auto people. Hell, I'm even confusing their students. A lot of their students watch my stuff. I'm even confusing their students. I'll never forget. Damn. I forgot the person's name. I ain't gonna say their name anyway. What was the message? It was I know you had a lot to say about him, but the new culture empire keeps showing receipts. I just want to know, respectfully, like when are we gonna start to, see results over here? Asking you know who. Yeah, I know you had a lot to say about him, but the new culture empire keeps showing receipts. I just want to know, respectfully, when are we going to start to see some results over here? Oh, they're not going to, you can't miss it. Unless you've been on a rock, you can't miss it. Everybody knows what's going on. Everybody knows that.
You're rocking with the best.
Everybody knows that. Like, hey, it's not a secret. And this is why I attract a smaller but more serious audience. Smaller but more serious. More fine, more in tune. Like all the wishing on a star. Oh, please, I need a discharge. They know to stay away. Like I take quality over quantity. Serious audiences are quieter. They watch more than they comment. They don't clap publicly as often. Do you know how many times I got emails? Y'all been watching videos for 6 months. Y'all been following for 7 months. Y'all been watching for 5 months. You want to know why? Because those are the people that are more sophisticated. See, they're not just going to get happy on one video. They're going to watch to see consistency. They're going to see consistency. And every time they're going back and fact checking everything I'm saying, and they're looking for consistency. And when they finally reach out, these people, there is very little conversation. They are already ready to go. They already know what I'm about. They already know what they're getting from me. They already understand. They already know. They're ready to rock and roll. That's my audience. And you know, when they can't refute the substance, they're always going to attack motive. They're going to attack the tone, monetization, and the delivery. That usually means the argument is solid. But I don't measure validation by likes. I measure validation by outcomes. And hell, having the opposed attorney say, "Hey man, you did your big one on that one too," ain't too bad as well. Because in the end of the day, the Supreme Elite Team and the new coaching empire are going to continue to stay head and shoulders above these spaces to the point where these other gurus watch me so much that even them gotta find a way to come up with a result. They wasn't worried about posting settlements. You ain't hear nobody talk about a settlement with the other side. As soon as I come, you got emails that are just strikingly similar to mine, like strikingly the same, like wording, like the timing of it. Now everybody talking settlements. Oh, we can settle. Everyone settle. They're watching me. Remember, that's why I call myself I'm your teacher's teacher, because the teachers, they all watch me. The landscape shifts from what I do. The landscape don't shift. If I don't move, the landscape ain't moving. That's why they don't show transcripts anymore. That's why the 1099A talk stopped. That's why the 1099B is kind of simmering out the gates. They watch me. This is why now they want to teach along the same things when I teach. They know not to come with that negotiable instrument stuff now. They know not to come with them stupid transcripts. They know not to come with a 1099A. They know not to come with a 1099B. They know I'm going to be on their top. So now what they do now, they won't get put under the gun line, so they won't get put under this scope. What is Thomas teaching? Accounting, ASC. Okay, we're going to teach that too. They know I'm the Grim Reaper. And this is why, like right here, even stuff like this.
Jeff Gamble.
Mr. Gamble, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing well, thanks.
This is Lamont Thomas.
Yeah.
Hey, nice talking to you. Let me see if I can speed it up. I don't think I can speed it up. But watch. Let me upload it from here. Watch this. Watch this. She would have never thought.
Jeff Gamble.
Mr. Gamble. Right here. Right here.
How did Chris beat a $12,000 American Express credit card lawsuit for under $500? This is dismissed.
American Express did not show up. They missed the hearing. That's how she got the dismissal. Or it says, granted dismissal motion for lack of jurisdiction and standing, right? But the official dismissal is because of warrant of prosecution. So, let's go here for a second. What is normally the reasons for a dismissal or a warrant of prosecution? Dismissal for warrant of prosecution occurs when a plaintiff fails to diligently pursue their case, leading the court to terminate the action due to inactions such as failure to meet deadlines, appear in court, or comply with orders. And I'm talking about in good faith, not no fabricated wins, not no fabricated emails or texts, straight up. And this is what you get. This is what you get in these spaces. This is what you get. Instead of saying they didn't show up, that's how Chris won. What is it? I got to dismiss because I challenged this and I did this and I did that and I did that. But it's always going to go back to the official, what's on the record. And although I knew there was something shaky about that dismiss with prejudice, but now when I did more research, it made sense. It is always dismissed with prejudice for a want of prosecution. It wasn't a dismissal because of lack of jurisdiction, lack of standing, which I knew wasn't true. But since they didn't show up for the hearing, she won by technicality. Only in these spaces where they take technicalities and grandiose it and make it seem like they win off the merits. My win is a settlement off the merits of my case as a plaintiff. What I did was no difference from what the SEC did, but they get those settlements when SEC comes as the plaintiff. My situation, this is exactly identical to how the SEC always wins their cases because they end up settled and paying the fine. I'm talking about those wins. They keep throwing these little wins, and it's still not the win that I'm talking about. Don't know. I'm talking about these wins. I ain't talking about technicalities as you the defendant. I'm talking about you winning on the merits of your case as the plaintiff, which they can't do. They can't do. They don't know how to argue as a plaintiff. They just know how to argue as a defendant and say, they didn't do this, they didn't do this, this why I don't owe. Well, take the part of you not owing off the table. Let's take the part where it's not even an issue about whether you owe or not. Take that off the table and come straight through the door as the plaintiff while you're current. Come on. Because they know it's a totally different ball game. It's a totally different ball game. And this is why we have levels to this. And to be honest with you, there ain't nothing else to talk about because the new culture empire will just have head and shoulders above the rest. We got so much things coming up for the spring, in the summer. We got UWM scared to respond. We got UWM scared to respond. Don't let me show up with that quiet title to the home. Don't let me show up with that quiet title to the home. That's where it's trending. Don't let me show up with a quiet title to the home. And it's going to be for somebody else. So I'm really going to burn the house down. Oh, and yes, clients, I'll be honest with you. I'm going to want another 5 racks for doing that for you. I'll be honest with you. Hey, man, once again, I got more wins coming, and I'm going to be posting them as they come. As they come, trust me, y'all going to be the first to know because receipts control over here. One gun.
Empire Talk, Boardroom Aura, New Culture, we set order. Thomas in the lobby, folded thicker than a skyline. Credit acceptance on a resume, war stories in the fine line. Supreme elate, circle around the table, every seat a throne. Consumer finance in his bloodstream, built it from a student loan. He can read a balance sheet like a judge retone. See the trap in every clause before the ink is dried on. They sell dreams on installments, he just ordered the spell. Break a predatory scheme down to decimal hell. Securitization flow, turn a contract to a bond chain. He can trace the money trail backwards in a rainstorm. Same lane, receipts in a briefcase, dates, times, bank names. You bring vibes to the courtroom, he bring numbers in case names. Supreme elite, we don't speak, we file. He got receipts line by line, no smile. In the dark where they hide those fees, we light up the fees. Breathe with these. Supreme elite, we don't speak, we file. He got receipts line by line, no smile. In the dark where they hide those fees, we light up the fee sheet. Breathe with these. He seen lenders flip script. trips, turn a whip to a shackle. Interest climbing every month to your paycheck battle. But he peeled back price and APR under the mask. See the spread versus the funding, who's skimming off the past. He no chalk off, road rates lost curves in his sleep. How they package up defaults and sell pain on Wall Street. He cross-check statements with the filings in the forecast. Find a misstep and turn one comma to a court clash. Consumer on the stand, heart racing in the cheap suit. He translate legalese, the plain talk, clean truth. Litigation in his left hand, excel in his right. Tell the judge what the bank did, cell by cell, line by line. Supreme Elite, we don't speak, we file. He got receipts line by line, no smile. In the dark where they hide those fees, we light up the fee sheet, breathe with ease. Supreme Elite, we don't speak, we file. He got receipts line by line, no smile. In the dark where they hide those fees, we light up the fee sheet, breathe with ease. They move in the margins, he read in between. They hide it in footnotes, he pull it on screen. From the boroughs to the boardroom, same concrete. Thomas built a whole empire off one word, receive. He paid vision, JD rhythm in his cadence. Double check the debits, then dismantle all the plaintiffs. Underrated models, he can see where they cheat. Assumptions too rosy on a loss rate sheet. Dockets on the desk, he align them like a chessboard. Case law, cash flows, every step next chord. Supreme Elite follow, blueprints not gossip, they talk bag. He talk tax, keep profit, new culture empire. This is financial defense, teaching credit as a weapon, not a lifelong sentence. From credit acceptance battles to the hallways of appeal, time has turned every closed door to a signed, sealed deal. Supreme Elite, we don't speak, we file. We got receipts line by line, no smile. In the dark where they hide those fees, we light up the fee sheet, breathe with ease. Supreme Elite, we don't speak, we file. He got receipts line by line, no smile. In the dark where they hide those fees, we light up the fee sheet, breathe with ease.
Running in band, whipping up heat, got sauce in my hand. She rolling the dice, got luck in that van, smoking that leaf, going global stand. On my wrist like a stage, I can't claim. You look like you wanna let go straight. What's up? I thought so, okay. I'm back in this symphony, stuck on a band. What's up? I thought so, okay, yeah. Running in band, whipping up heat, got sauce in my hand. She rolling the dice, got luck in that van, smoking that leaf on global brand. It's band, fresh white tee, chrome on the rim, big body slide, whole block looks slim. Wrist on chill, but the boy too hot. Turn my last L to a key to the spot. Plug on the phone, say let's slide. Came from the back, now we front row live. Couch full of cash, can't sit, can't fold. Used to pray for a play, now it's overload. Run it up, running bang bang. Whipping up heat, got sauce in my hand. She rolling the dice, got luck in that van. Smoking that leaf, going global. Ooh, ooh, expand, blue, 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 blue. Shorty too thick, attitude too. Say she want a boss, not a boy in the crew. Stamp my name on the side of her glass. Say she feel safe when I'm hitting the gas. Mama in the crib, fridge stay packed. All them long nights, put food in the stack. Talk about stay down, I really did that. From the floor to the fourth type check. Had nothing but hope in the half tank. Now it's 10 toes down, all gas. No thanks, till they cross that line, that's a bad move. We don't double back, we just improve.
You're rocking with the best. You're rocking with the best.